a group of people trapped inside a forbidden building filled with horrifying creatures. The film opens by showing a man named Sam who suddenly wakes up inside an empty building. Sam feels confused and anxious, unable to understand how or why he ended up there. No matter how hard he tries to remember, he cannot recall any event that brought him to that place. After walking for a while, Sam notices a man in a blue suit standing in the distance. Hoping to get answers, Sam approaches the man to ask where he is, but the man refuses to respond and walks away instead. When Sam chases after him, he accidentally runs into a woman named Jessica.
Who are you?
Sam.
This hallway is a bunch of empty rooms.
Just like Sam, Jessica turns out to be in the same situation, confused and unable to remember how she arrived there. After a brief conversation, they decide to stay together and help each other find a way out of the mysterious building.
Shouldn't we go the other way?
While exploring the area, they hear a sound coming from one of the rooms. When they check it, the sound turns out to be coming from a little girl named Celia who is hiding under a bed. Celia looks terrified when Sam and Jessica approach her. Both of them try to calm her down, reassuring Celia that they are not bad people. Once Celia feels safe enough, Sam and Jessica ask if she remembers how she got there, but just like them, Celia has no memory of how or why she is in that place. Sam then invites Jessica and Celia to leave the room and continue searching for an exit. However, just as they are about to leave, a man suddenly appears and strikes Sam, knocking him unconscious. In his subconscious, Sam sees himself inside a car with his girlfriend, Sarah. While driving home, Sam tries to light a cigarette and reaches for a lighter, but accidentally drops it. When he tries to pick it up, he unknowingly takes his eyes off the road, and in that instant, a terrible accident occurs, killing Sarah. The accident happened about 3 years ago. Not long after, Sam regains consciousness and finds himself surrounded by several people in the same room. Roger, Nadir, Charles, Rachel, and Victoria. They all share the same fate, unable to remember why they are there. Roger apologizes to Sam for accidentally hitting him earlier. Suddenly, Nadir cuts into Roger's explanation, which makes Roger angry. Roger accuses Nadir of being rude for interrupting someone who is speaking, and they nearly get into a fight over such a trivial matter. Fortunately, the others quickly step in and separate them, realizing that fighting is pointless and that it is better for them to unite and look for a way out together. After the tension eases, Rachel, with a serious expression, asks whether any of them remembers how they became trapped in this place. It turns out that only Victoria remembers where she was before waking up there, as she recalls being at a nightclub with her close friend drinking heavily. However, after that, her memory becomes blurry and she cannot remember what happened next. All she knows is that when she woke up, she was already in this place. This raises the question of who could have brought them there if they were drugged. Charles then suggests trying to contact outside help and asks everyone to take out their phones, hoping there might be a signal. Unfortunately, all of their phones are completely dead and unusable. In the middle of the confusion, Victoria, who has been holding in her urge to urinate, quickly leaves to look for a restroom. Roger actually wants to accompany Victoria to the restroom and be alone with her, but Victoria refuses and forbids anyone from coming with her. As soon as she arrives at the toilet, Victoria hears a strange sound coming from the next stall. When she checks it, she finds a mysterious woman who is using illegal drugs. The woman offers Victoria a syringe, and since Victoria is also a drug user, she finds it hard to refuse. However, in an instant, the woman who initially looks normal suddenly transforms into a terrifying figure and attacks Victoria. Victoria's screams are heard by the others, who immediately rush to trace the source of the sound. Strangely, when they reach the restroom, Victoria is nowhere to be found.
Are you in there? You all right?
Nothing.
Realizing that something is seriously wrong with this place, they all agree to keep moving and search for a way out. Along the way, they hear another mysterious noise, and upon investigating, they discover a man hiding behind a pile of objects. The man introduces himself as Daniel, but something feels off. Celia, who has been calm from the beginning, suddenly shows a shocked and terrified expression upon seeing his face. Later, Roger comes up with a clever idea to remove the wooden boards covering a window, hoping they can escape through it. After successfully removing one board, Sam drops a glass bottle to determine how high up they are. After waiting for a while with no sound at all, Sam speculates that they might be at a very high level. Then, out of curiosity, Roger sticks his hand out, only for it to suddenly be attacked by something, injuring his hand.
Fuck this. What the hell just happened?
Fed up with everything, Roger decides to leave and search for a way out on his own, without waiting for the others.
Did you not just see what happened?
We can look for her on the way.
So all y'all can stand around throwing bottles.
We're obviously on an upper floor. Let the bastard go. Let him go.
Realizing that the window is no longer safe, the rest of them know they must find another escape route. To increase their chances, they agree to split into two groups. Sam, Jessica, Celia, and Nadir form the first group, while Charles, Rachel, and Daniel move as the second group. After wandering for a long time, Charles's group finds an elevator door that might be their way out. Charles tries to force the elevator door open, while Rachel and Daniel watch from behind. However, Rachel's attention is drawn to a Mickey Mouse tattoo on Charles's hand. What should have been an ordinary tattoo instead triggers a painful memory in Rachel's mind. The memory takes her back to her childhood, when Charles approached her with a friendly demeanor and tried to persuade her to go somewhere secluded. At the time, Rachel was too young to feel suspicious, but as time passed, she began to realize that Charles had malicious intentions. The man who was supposed to be trustworthy turned out to be a depraved individual who forced her to do deeply inappropriate acts while she was still underage. The incident left a deep emotional scar on Rachel. After realizing that Charles is the person responsible for her past trauma, Rachel decides to distance herself from him and walk away.
What's she talking about?
Shortly after she leaves, Daniel asks what actually happened and why Rachel looked so terrified of Charles, but Charles remains silent and refuses to answer. Sensing that something is wrong, Daniel decides to follow Rachel. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Roger, now separated from the group, walks alone through the dark corridors. Unexpectedly, he encounters a group of women who are unclothed. Before Roger can do anything, the women immediately kill him on the spot. It is revealed that these women are victims from Roger's past. Roger had committed horrific crimes by killing several women and using their bodies for his own twisted pleasure. In the end, those victims are given the chance to take revenge, punishing Roger for all the monstrous acts he committed and delivering justice for his many sins. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sam, Jessica, Celia, and Nadir run into a problem when they reach a dead end. There is only a narrow corridor that seems to be the only path they can take. Sam goes first into the corridor, followed by Celia and Jessica crawling behind him, while Nadir is the last one to pass through. However, when it is Nadir's turn, his eyes catch sight of a young boy standing at the end of the corridor. Worried about the child's safety, Nadir immediately runs after him to make sure he is not hurt. But as Nadir chases the boy, something unexpected happens. The child suddenly disappears and is replaced by a terrifying, mysterious figure. Shocked and frightened, Nadir quickly looks for a place to hide. Instead, he comes face to face with a woman who turns out to be his own daughter, Misha. Nadir is confused about how he could meet Misha in this place, especially since she has been dead for a long time. At that moment, memories from the past flood his mind, and tears fall as he cannot hold back his grief after witnessing his beloved daughter die by his own hands. Years ago, Nadir saw his daughter Misha in a romantic relationship with a black man. Because of his deep hatred toward black people, Nadir forced her to end the relationship. Misha refused and insisted on staying with the man she loved, which led to a heated argument between father and daughter. Enraged by her decision, Nadir slapped Misha, causing her to fall down the stairs and die on the spot. Nadir never imagined that his action would end up taking his own daughter's life. He is consumed by guilt and regret, desperately hoping that Misha can forgive him. However, Misha shows no intention of forgiving her father and demands justice for her boyfriend, who is now imprisoned because of Nadir. It is revealed that Nadir not only caused Misha's death, but also falsely accused her boyfriend as the murderer. As a result, the man was arrested and sentenced to decades in prison. All of these actions make Misha deeply hate her own father, questioning how he could live with so many lies and such hatred toward black people. This also explains why Nadir nearly got into a fight with Roger when they first met. Misha demands that Nadir pay for all his past sins by taking his own life. Because it is his daughter's request, Nadir agrees to obey. Before doing so, he sincerely apologizes to Misha and her boyfriend for the terrible mistakes he made in the past, hoping they can forgive him. Nadir promises that in his next life, he will change and never discriminate against any race or ethnicity again. As the moment comes for Nadir to hang himself, something unexpected suddenly happens. Nadir becomes confused about what just occurred and wonders where Misha and the creature near her have gone. Meanwhile, Sam and Jessica, who have been waiting for Nadir, grow confused about his whereabouts. They shout his name repeatedly, but there is no response. Assuming that Nadir chose to search for an exit on his own, Sam, Jessica, and Celia decide to leave him behind. They eventually arrive at a room covered in bloodstains. Curious, Sam enters the room, hoping they might find clues to escape from this place, but unfortunately he finds nothing at all. When Sam asks Jessica to continue moving, he notices a necklace she is wearing with a photo of a man inside it. Sam asks who the man is, and Jessica explains that he is her husband, Jason. Sam then tells Jessica that he saw Jason earlier in this place wearing a blue suit. At first, Jessica does not believe him because her husband died 3 years ago in a car accident. Jessica's statement makes Sam realize that there is something deeply wrong with this place. Too many things cannot be explained, including his encounter with someone who should already be dead, Jason, Jessica's husband. As they exchange thoughts, Sam is suddenly attacked by a horrifying creature that bursts through a window.
Why can't we seem to find a way out of here? And nobody knows how they got here.
Fortunately, Jessica reacts quickly and manages to save Sam when he is cornered. After everything they experience, Sam tries to understand what is really happening. The more he thinks about it, the stronger his suspicion grows that they are not in the real world, or that they might be trapped in a different dimension altogether. Everyone woke up in this place with no memory of how they arrived, and the mystery only deepens in Sam's mind. In the middle of the tense situation, they suddenly hear someone crying for help. When they investigate, they see an unfamiliar man begging for mercy in front of Daniel. Sam, Jessica, and Celia can only watch from a distance. Daniel knows that the man committed a major crime by engaging in massive corruption, stealing money that rightfully belonged to others and causing countless people to suffer as a result. Daniel looks furious, his face filled with disappointment and disgust, reflecting his hatred toward greed. To him, the man represents someone who sacrifices others for personal gain. Despising such people, Daniel orders the creature beside him to punish the man by killing him. Witnessing the murder, Sam, Jessica, and Celia slowly back away, trying to distance themselves from Daniel without drawing his attention. However, their efforts are useless as Daniel somehow becomes aware of their presence and begins to chase them. As they run through the dark corridors, Jessica realizes they cannot keep running forever. She whispers to Sam, suggesting that they hide Celia temporarily. In the corridor, they find a small, old service elevator used to transport dirty laundry to the lower floor. Sam comes up with the idea to tie fabric around Celia's body and leave her inside the elevator until things become safe. After securing the cloth to the elevator door, Sam and Jessica quickly leave to find a hiding place. Not long after, Daniel arrives. Somehow, he seems to know exactly where Celia is hidden. Without any mercy, Daniel opens the elevator door, causing Celia to fall to the floor below, then walks away without any guilt. After Daniel leaves, Jessica breaks down in tears and wants to go down to look for Celia, fearing that she may have been captured by Daniel. Sam calms Jessica and assures her that they will find Celia as soon as possible. Together, they search for stairs leading to the lower floor, and after wandering for a long time, they finally find them. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Charles accidentally encounters Celia after she falls from the upper floor.
Ice.
Charles begins to lure Celia to go with him to a secluded place, pretending to offer help. However, Celia quickly senses his malicious intent. Just as she is about to be trapped in a situation similar to what Rachel once experienced, Rachel appears in time and saves Celia. Driven by deep resentment toward Charles for his past actions, Rachel almost kills him, but her action is stopped by Sam and Jessica, who arrive just in time. At the same moment, Daniel suddenly appears as well. Cornered and terrified, Charles finally begs Rachel for forgiveness, admitting his wrongdoing and apologizing for everything he did in the past. He confesses that his actions were driven by an illness that ruined his life and caused him to be attracted to things he should never have desired. Charles admits that he deeply hates this condition, but cannot deny that he is incapable of being attracted to adult women. Rachel is torn about what she should do to Charles, and this is where Daniel's true role begins. Daniel deliberately comes to manipulate Rachel, provoking her to kill Charles, the man who traumatized her for life. Daniel insists that if Rachel does not stop Charles now, there will be many more victims in the future. Sam initially tries to stop Rachel, but Daniel, who has orchestrated everything, refuses to let him interfere.
This isn't about him.
Put it down.
You're only condemning yourself.
Did you just kill this motherfucker already?
Daniel leaves Charles's fate entirely in Rachel's hands. Continually influenced by Daniel's words, Rachel ultimately decides to kill Charles and refuses to forgive him. After Charles's death, Rachel herself is taken away by the strange creatures. After the deaths of Charles and Rachel, Sam, Jessica, and Celia search for a safe hiding place. Sam, who has begun to sense something deeply wrong with Daniel's behavior, finally realizes that Daniel's true target was never Celia, but the remaining two of them. Because of this, Sam asks Celia to hide inside a wardrobe. After hiding Celia, Sam and Jessica are soon found by Daniel, who effortlessly renders them powerless.
Influence, inspired.
Exhausted and furious, Jessica demands to know who Daniel really is and why he is doing all of this. It is revealed that Daniel is one of the demons guarding the gates of hell. Daniel's duty is to collect the souls of people burdened with great sins, such as Victoria, who sinned through excessive drinking and drug abuse; Roger, who committed grave sins by murdering and having sex with many women; Charles, who sinned through his depraved attraction to children; and Rachel, who sinned by harboring deep hatred and vengeance toward Charles for years. Daniel gives them trials and forces them to choose between repentance or continuing to sin. If they choose to keep sinning, Daniel will punish them by taking their souls and turning them into monstrous servants. Daniel prefers this outcome, which is why he constantly tempts them to follow their darkest desires. If they choose repentance, they will be saved and allowed leave the place. Most of them make the wrong choice by continuing to indulge in their sins, and therefore receive punishment equal to their past deeds. Now it is Sam's turn to face Daniel because Sam carries the sin of negligence while driving 3 years earlier, an accident that killed Jason, Jessica's husband. During that accident, Sam dropped his lighter and took his eyes off the road, causing a violent collision between his car and the one Jason was driving. Jason died at the scene, and the crash also claimed the life of Sam's girlfriend, Sarah. In addition, Jessica lost the baby she was carrying due to the accident. Upon learning the truth, Jessica is devastated and cannot believe that Sam is the person responsible for Jason's death, the loss of her unborn child, and the destruction of her happiness. In that moment, anger and resentment briefly surge within Jessica towards Sam, knowing that his carelessness caused all her suffering. If Sam had been more careful, the accident might never have happened and she could have lived a happy life with her family. Instead, that future was destroyed forever. Sam tearfully apologizes for everything, admitting it was his fault, though it was a tragic accident, and begs Jessica to forgive him. Daniel tries to provoke Jessica into refusing forgiveness and killing Sam on the spot. However, Jessica, who has already accepted Jason's death and understands that the accident was unintentional, chooses to fully forgive Sam.
I am so sorry.
Just do it. Time has come for you to make your choice.
I forgive him.
I'm going to enjoy ripping you apart.
Because they forgive each other and no longer carry unresolved sin, Celia appears in her true form as a protector. With ease, Celia destroys the demon Daniel and takes him away from them.
You're not allowed to interfere in this.
A shocking truth is then revealed. Celia is the spirit of the unborn baby Jessica was carrying 3 years ago. Because Celia died at such a young stage, her soul remains pure and without sin. She appeared in this place because of her deep desire to save Jessica. Jessica is overwhelmed with emotion upon meeting Celia, the child she lost, and reveals that for the past 3 years, she has prayed for Celia's soul and hoped for forgiveness. Jessica deeply regrets that she could not protect Celia while she was still in her womb. Celia forgives Jessica, explaining that it was not her fault, as this was a destiny already planned by the Almighty. Jessica never forgets Celia's existence, even though Celia was never able to be born into the world. Celia then approaches Sam and gives him a clue in the form of the code 172. Celia tells Sam that he will wake up in the real world and that he must save Jessica, explaining that the code is a hint to Jessica's whereabouts. After that, Celia gently touches Sam's face, and shortly afterward, Sam wakes up in the real world, finding himself in the middle of a traffic accident. The accident turns out to be a massive chain collision involving many vehicles caused by a truck whose brakes failed, resulting in the loss of many lives. Victoria, Roger, Charles, and Rachel are all killed at the scene of the accident. Sam, however, regains consciousness and immediately searches for Jessica. Along the way, Sam notices that Nadir is still alive. The reason Nadir survives, despite having committed grave sins such as killing his own daughter and being racist toward black people, is because he truly felt deep remorse for his actions, especially for his racism and for imprisoning Misha's boyfriend. Because of his sincere repentance, Nadir is given a second chance at life and manages to survive the accident. Unlike Nadir, Victoria, Roger, Charles, and Rachel do not survive the crash. At the brink of death, the 4 of them fail the test and therefore are not granted a second chance to live. Victoria shows no remorse, proven by how she is still tempted by the woman offering illegal drugs. Roger still harbors evil intentions, wanting to have sex with Victoria when she goes to the restroom. Charles still has malicious desires toward Celia, and Rachel is unable to forgive and continues to hold on to long-standing resentment. Sam keeps moving forward until he finds the number 172, exactly as Celia instructed. In the end, Sam successfully finds Jessica, who is unconscious due to the accident. Sam immediately calls for medical assistance so Jessica can receive treatment before it is too late. Fortunately, Jessica is saved thanks to the quick response of the medical team, who performs CPR on her. The help does not only come from the medics, but also from Celia, who guides Sam to Jessica's location. And with that, the story comes to an end.